Chapter 6389. Abram said excitedly, if the launch can be queued up, our satellite will be able to enter orbit in the first quarter of next year. The communication satellite itself does not have too high technical content. It is like buying a computer and assembling hardware. The supply chain can solve it. The difficulty lies in the launch, as well as the use after the launch and the adaptation of the software. These are my majors. I am confident that I can do it well. In addition, I have contacted some former classmates in the United States. They are about the same age as me and are facing layoffs and salary cuts. I have sounded out their mouths. If the salary is right, they are willing to start over. When the people are almost sorted out, I want to set up a research and development and online team in the United States, which is responsible for the development of our own communication system and the subsequent work after the satellite enters orbit. Seeing that he had analyzed it very comprehensively, Charlie must have had a plan in mind, so he said, "Brother, you can let go of these aspects. I can set up a venture capital fund in the United States at any time. When the time comes, you will come forward to set up a startup company. And I will invest in the angel round for you, so that you can recruit all your former colleagues to work together." Abram hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, my previous financial situation was very bad. The FBI and the tax department can check it very clearly. Not long after leaving the United States, I suddenly got an angel investment, which is bound to arouse suspicion. My old colleagues will definitely not understand. Why don't you open a satellite communication business directly within Skyline? And then let me be the person in charge of the business. In this way, not only outsiders will not suspect, my former colleagues will not suspect, and the key point is that SpaceX will not suspect it either." Packing the communication business into Skyline was something Charlie had never thought of before. He and Abram met by chance, and it was also a kind of fate. After saving him, he thought of letting him work for Cataclysmic Front. On the one hand, to build a satellite communication system for Cataclysmic Front. On the other hand, it helps him find his own value and get rid of the previous predicament. But now looking at it again, communication satellites, like remote sensing satellites, will be everywhere in the future. And it is time to treat it as an important matter and work hard. So, he said to Abram, "Brother, your suggestion is very good. Skyline is a genuine American company and is now openly controlled by the Rothschild family. It is naturally advantageous to do satellite communications within this company structure. I will implement this matter as soon as possible. I will let Skyline spread the word that the company is going to set up a new communications department and then release recruitment positions. Brother, you can send them a resume then. When you finish your work here, I will let Skyline send you an interview invitation. You can go directly back to the United States to go through the interview process with them. If you pass the interview, you can stay in the United States and start working." Abram nodded excitedly and said, "Okay, Mr. Wade, after the interview process is passed, I will communicate with my former colleagues immediately. Although they are all middle-aged, they have experienced all kinds of workplace crises and now they can't wait to fight harder than young people. As long as we give them a chance, they will definitely be able to display their strongest professional level flat." Charlie nodded and said, "Don't worry, brother. I am different from those businessmen who only pursue profits. As long as your colleagues do their job well and are older, I will not lay off employees or reduce their salaries. I will provide everyone with a stable working environment." Abram hurriedly said, "Mr. Wade, I can't trust anyone but you. With your words, I have no worries." Charlie hummed and instructed, "After you go to Skyline, I will let the people of Skyline not interfere with the business you are responsible for. But don't let your colleagues know who you are working for. Don't let them know that the satellite communication system they are going to build is related to Cataclysmic Front." Abram immediately promised, "Don't worry, Mr. Wade. I won't let anyone know this secret." Charlie smiled and said, "This part of the business will be handed over to you in the future. Then, Charlie said goodbye to everyone and drove north with Maria. On the way, he called Steve and told him about the relevant plans for the satellite communication business, and asked him to arrange for relevant personnel from Skyline to be responsible for the connection. Steve was also very sensible, knowing that Charlie wanted to develop his own satellite communications under the shell of Skyline. He immediately expressed his position. "Mr. Wade, since you want to put your business in Skyline, I will first invest $1 billion in Skyline as research and development expenses. At that time, the funds related to satellite communications will also be paid from this money. You just need to send your people over."